In this video, I'm going to talk about Ikigai. Now, what is Ikigai? Ikigai is basically a Japanese concept of philosophy. Ikigai is a state of well being that arises from dedication to the activities or the task one enjoys, and which in turn brings a sense of fulfillment to them. It also refers to a passion that gives value and joy to life. Now, the whole purpose of Ikigai is your reason for being in this world. Okay, what is the purpose of you? What do you like? What do you love to do? How would you contribute to the world? Now, the literal Japanese translation for Ikigai, Iki means life, Gai means values. So, the values of your life. It's all about finding a purpose for your existence in this very planet. Now, Ikigai is usually represented as a Venn diagram, the intersecting circles. Okay, so I'm going to talk about all those circles in some time. All four circles are overlapping points. All four circles which overlaps at a specific point. That's the Ikigai point. So that's the point which you should try to achieve. Okay, if you want to be satisfied in throughout your life journey. Now, it helps you to be more happy in the longer term. Now, ikigai, this concept is come from Japan. So in Japan, like as the uh, people that there's a city in Japan where people have lived, like say, more than 100 years. Okay, with the lifespan, life expectancy of more than 100 years. Now, there was some research being conducted over there, and then we understood that like there are some basic reasons why people try to do something through which they can like live a happy and a peaceful life. Now, it's all about like sensing the purpose. Okay, now the same translation has been done in the Western world to be have those equivalency in your like day to day and the work life. Okay, now moving on to the next slide. This is what the Ikigai Venn diagram looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to explain you very quickly. Now, if you see this circle, it's called as what you love. Okay, this is what you are good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Okay, so all four different objectives basically. So what you love means what is what you really like love doing. Okay, what you're good at. So you might be loving to do something more, but then you might be good at something else. Okay, what you can be paid for. Although you might be good at something else, but you cannot be paid for doing that activity, but then you can be paid for doing something else, so that's how the demarcation happens over here. And what the world needs. So even if you are paid for something, but if the world doesn't need that, then what's the point on doing that activity? Okay. Now, if you see the intersecting points over here, like what you are good at and what you love, that defines your passion. What you love and what the world needs, that brings out the mission in you. Okay, so that's the mission, that's the long term objective which you are trying to achieve. Then what the world needs and what you can be paid for brings out the vocation. Okay, so it talks about what education, what qualification, what skill set you have, and then how you can utilize that to uh, make more money, or maybe do some activity which might benefit the world. Okay, and what you're good at and what you can be paid for is basically a pure profession, because that's where you are trained, you're built to, you have that skill set. And then there are many things which you might be good at. Say example, you might be good at Excel, and then if someone has a work to build some, say, query, or maybe build some macro or build some tables in Excel, then that might be your profession. And some people might be good in coding or development or maybe consulting. So those all things comes as a part of profession. Now the intersection of profession, passion, mission, and vocation will brings out the ikigai in you. Okay, so you need to find this ikigai, okay, the right balance between passion, profession, mission, and vocation. Now, what are the four qualities which we have mentioned over here? One is like what you love, what you are good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Now, let's go into depth more. Okay, when you say good at or can be paid for, so that's the profession or vocation, profession, vocation. Okay, so what you can be paid for, okay, and what you are good at. Okay, so if you see this two intersection, we have profession and vocation. Okay, now what you're good at and what you can be paid for, like here you're comfortable but you have a feeling of emptiness because the thing which you're doing, that is technically not needed by the world, or that might not, you might not love doing that. Okay, now what you can be paid for or what the world needs. If you see here what you can be paid for and what the world needs, so we have that intersection point of vocation, uh, or a mission to be partial. uh, There is an excitement and complacency, but sense of uncertainty, because you don't love what the world needs. Okay, love doing the things which what the world needs, and you are not even good at it. So there is a lot of like kind of an excitement, at the same time there is a complacency, and then it brings a lot of uncertainty as well. What you're good at and what you love. So, what you're good at and what you love, that drives your passion, right? And now that's your profession, okay? But there is a satisfaction, but you feel a sense of uselessness because you love doing the things you're good at. But what if it is not generating any revenue, or what that the world doesn't need it? Okay, so it brings you satisfaction, because you're good at and that's what you love, but you feel a sense of uselessness because that's not getting converted into revenue. Then what you love and what the world needs. So passion, mission, delight, and fullness, but there is no wealth over here. Okay, so what you love and what the world needs, if you see here, there is a sense of like a passion. Okay, it's delight, but if there is no wealth, then it is not of use to you. What are the benefits of Ikigai? Now, Ikigai can help you design your ideal work lifestyle. So, if you are struggling with something, if you are doing something which you are not happy with, or if you are doing something which is not generating revenue, or if you're doing something which the world doesn't need it, then you need to start identifying those Ikigai and design your ideal work lifestyle accordingly. Now, Ikigai can help you create strong social connections either at work or a personal life. So it will help you bring that bond, generate that bond, create that aura around it. It helps you create a healthy work life balance. So you may not be spending those empty number of times or attempts, or maybe spend those 100 hours doing the work which you are not uh, valuing it, or which is not generating any money, or maybe that doesn't the need of the hour for the world. Okay, so you can achieve your career dreams by sensing and building upon your ikigai. You can be more productive at work because that's where all the productive things comes into picture, because then you will start mastering the things which you are good at, and also you try to uh, bring the money aspect to it, and also brings the purpose, if that particular job is going to bring some value to the world. It will arouse an interest in doing something, it will trigger an interest. And last but not the least, it will define the purpose of your very existence. So that's it, folks. This is all about ikigai. So what I would recommend you guys is to draft those questionnaire, ask those questions to yourself, and try to frame up that Venn diagram, and then come up with your own ikigai. Thanks for watching.